Plants require chemical elements to grow. Now, when I talk of chemical elements, I do not mean man-made chemicals, but I mean the chemical elements which are present around us. So plants require things like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, which is present in the air. They also require macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, which is also termed as NPK, very frequently used in the farming fraternity. Now, NPK are macronutrients largely because a plant needs it to form its cells, to put the whole fabric together to grow. So they are required in abundant quantities and are very, very important for a plant's growth, which is why a lot of focus is given on these three nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. It also requires secondary nutrients, things like calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and a lot of micronutrients like boron, cobalt, iron. The list is endless. There are a lot of nutrients that are required, and all these nutrient elements or chemical elements are present in a healthy soil. Now, in the healthy soil, there are also microorganisms, which are bacteria, fungi, and algae, that are constantly working in the soil and converting these chemical elements into plant acceptable forms. So these are small biological laboratories that are constantly working to provide the plants the nutrients they require, and the plant root system takes that up from these microbes and helps in plant growth. Now, today, the soils that we have are depleted of all these nutrients for various reasons, and people do resort to using fertilizers to make it fertile, to make those elements available to the plants. Now, broadly, there are two categories of fertilizers, natural fertilizers and chemical fertilizers. Modern agriculture is based on usage of chemical fertilizers, wherein in huge laboratories, these huge factories, these chemical products are manufactured with specific recipes and proportions, which when used gives the farmer the yield they aspire for, or the yield that they are looking for. Now, this is a short-term perspective wherein this chemical fertilizer pumps up the nutrients to the plant and the plant grows and gives the result. However, in the long run, these chemical fertilizers are actually killing the soil microbes of the soil, making it more and more infertile. And so, in the long run, the plants will not be able to sustain their growth. That happens in case of chemical fertilizers. Now, talking of natural fertilizers can again be of two kinds. One is the organic fertilizers. Now, organic fertilizers are products or byproducts of existing systems on land. So, for example, let's take cow dung. Cow dung is a product of raising livestock. Chicken poop, similarly, is a product of raising chickens. When we talk of vermicompost or composting, it's again another system which is giving us a product of vermicompost or compost, which can then be directly applied onto the soil to help provide these nutrients. Now, in case of organic fertilizers, what's happening is that either, if let's say we are applying cow dung slurry onto our soil, then this cow dung is providing certain microbes onto the soil, which are again getting activated, and they're working with the soil nutrients and making those nutrients available to the plant. Or in case of composting or even mulching, what is happening is that organic matter which is getting added onto the soil is working as an inoculant and also working as food for microbes. So when these microbes, which are the bacteria and the fungi, receive a lot of good organic matter to feed on, they multiply, and as they multiply, they make the nutrients available to the plants through their roots. And so it becomes a holistic approach to farming, or a holistic approach to providing nutrition to plants. Together with that, you're also building soils. Now, this is a way of perhaps looking at organic fertilizers. There's another category called biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are biologically prepared solutions, or I would say cultures. So if you've heard of a product, for example, called waste decomposer, which is which was created by NCOF, National Center of Organic Farming. This is a culture of microbes taken from cow dung, and they have been multiplied on a substrate and is now bottled and is available for people to use. What this culture helps do is it helps decompose crop residues from the farms, and also decompose whatever organic matter there is, and make that organic matter and nutrients available to the soil microbes. What happens in case of a biofertilizer is that in a particular laboratory, the scientists, the people working on those cultures, are selecting certain strains of bacteria and fungi and algae and putting them together in different products and making it available. So these microbes will either help in fixing nitrogen, or they will help in solubilizing phosphorus, or they will probably help in the growth of the overall growth of the plant. But what's happening with biofertilizers is that one particular strain of organism is getting multiplied and being used. Now, if you keep using biofertilizers again and again, what you're actually encouraging is increasing population of one certain type of microbe over others. Ideally, your soil should have a huge diversity of microorganisms and not dominance of one particular strain. It would otherwise something be like a monoculture. So we don't want monoculture, we want a diverse culture. So in case you're using or you're wanting to use biofertilizer, you should simultaneously apply other techniques like crop rotation, where you're using different crops to help rejuvenate the soil, where you can also use activities like mulching, where you're using a lot of diverse variety of dry leaves and organic matter on the soil, so that you are adding on to the diversity of the microbes and also feeding them. You can even go for something called green manuring. So if you're starting out on a patch of land, you can actually sow it with a leguminous crops. When I say leguminous, these are crops like beans and peas, which have nodules in their roots, and it helps fix nitrogen. So like I mentioned in the beginning, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are the key nutrients that a plant requires. Leguminous plants help fix that nitrogen from the atmosphere and makes it available to the plant, and by doing so, together with using biofertilizers, together with using manuring and other techniques like mulching, you are creating a holistic view of managing soil and managing plants. I hope this helped clear some doubts, and I'll see you again.